Imagine this. Every single morning, like clockwork, a woman lets her dog waltz onto your lawn, squat, and leave you a steaming gift. And no matter how many polite signs, warnings, or neighbors telling her to stop, she just smirks, shrugs, and says, "What are you gonna do about it?" Well, I'll tell you what I did. I gave her the answer to that question. And it left her drenched, humiliated, and quite literally covered in the mess she refused to clean up. If you've ever dealt with a disrespectful neighbor or dreamed of delivering sweet, poetic justice, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and stick around, because this revenge story will have you laughing, cringing, and fist-pumping all at once. I live in a fairly large city, plenty of good dog owners, people who care about their pets and their community. But as always, there are a few rotten apples. And unfortunately, one of them lived right in my neighborhood. Every morning around 8 a.m., this woman, let's call her Pooper Lady, would stroll by with her tiny fluffy dog. And like clockwork, she'd let him stop in the exact same spot, right by my yard next to my wife's car, and take a dump. Every single day. At first I thought, okay, maybe she forgot a bag. Maybe it's just once. But nope. This was her daily routine. She never picked it up. Not once. I tried signs. Nothing. My neighbor even called her out directly, yelling, "Hey, pick up your dog's poop." Her response, she literally shrugged, smirked, and said, "I don't have time. I've got work. What are you gonna do about it?" That line stuck with me. What are you gonna do about it? It wasn't just the poop. It was the arrogance, the entitlement, the way she dismissed every ounce of basic decency. Now, I'm not just some guy with a lawn. My yard holds memories. See, I used to have a dog, a gentle giant, 250 pounds of pure joy. My best friend. He loved everyone. Kids, cats, even other dogs. He passed away of old age 2 years ago, and losing him shattered me. But I wanted to honor him. So I built a little dog treat library in front of my house. Free treats. Free poop bags. A small way to keep his spirit alive and give back to the community. And this woman had the audacity to ignore that. To let her dog crap right next to the place I'd built in memory of mine. To act like basic courtesy was beneath her. I knew exactly how bad a lawn can get when a dog's waste piles up. I lived through it with my big guy. I put in the work to rebuild that lawn with special plants that could actually handle dog urine. I cared about that space. So watching her disrespect it day after day, it wasn't just gross. It was personal. Now let's paint the picture of Pooper Lady. She's always on her phone, earbuds in, barely paying attention to the world around her. Her dog, let's call him Muffin Paws, isn't much better. This tiny aggressive fluffball would lunge and bark at dogs 20 times his size, including mine back when my boy was alive. I had to physically block her dog once while shouting, "Curb your dog, lady!" And she barely looked up from her phone. This wasn't just carelessness. This was a pattern. Ignorance, entitlement, and disrespect. And every morning, right at 8:02 on the dot, she strutted by in her fancy business outfits. Never with a poop bag. Never with a care in the world. So, I decided, if she wanted to challenge me with, "What are you gonna do about it?" I was going to show her. I had something she wasn't prepared for: technology. My security camera captured her routine perfectly. Same time, same spot, every single day. So I installed 2 high-powered sprinklers connected to my Wi-Fi. With one button on my phone, I could unleash a blast of freezing water strong enough to clean paint off a car. I set the timer for 8:03 a.m., right when Muffin Paws usually squatted. And then, I waited. The next morning, I logged into my security camera at work. There she was, fancy outfit, heels, phone in hand, dog sniffing around my lawn. Muffin Paws squatted. And then, whoosh. A jet of water blasted them both. The dog took it straight to the face, the lady at the waist. She screamed, tried to grab her soaked dog, and in her panic, slipped on the very pile of poop he had just dropped. She hit the ground hard. Business casual outfit? Ruined. Hair? Soaked. Dog. A muddy, dripping mop. And when she stood up, her clothes were covered in green grass stains and, well, let's just say nature's fertilizer. I was laughing so hard at my desk, my boss had to check if I was okay. The next day she came back. Same spot. Same routine. You'd think she'd learn, right? Nope. This time, she was dressed even nicer. Heels, blouse, the works. She paused, looked at my lawn suspiciously, but let her dog start squatting anyway. I hit the button. Whoosh. Her scream was so loud, my cheap camera microphone picked it up from inside my triple-pane windows. Muffin Paws was soaked mid-poop, which meant, let's just say the laws of physics took over. Droplets and torpedoes flew in every direction. She slipped, broke a heel, dropped her phone, and one perfect little turd arced through the air and landed directly on her blouse. It was chef's kiss. By Thursday, I knew she was close to breaking. She approached my lawn, tugging Muffin Paws along. But the dog wasn't having it. He stopped dead, refusing to go near the haunted grass. She pulled. He resisted. And just as she crossed into range, I hit the sprinklers. The dog bolted. She dropped the leash, stumbling after him in her heels, soaked and shrieking, disappearing out of frame. And that was the last time she ever tried to use my lawn as her dog's toilet. By Friday she was gone. The following week, I spotted Muffin Paws again. But this time he was being walked by a young woman wearing a t-shirt from a local dog walking service. She stopped by my doggy library, smiled, picked up after him and kept walking. Respectful. Responsible. 3 months later, both Pooper Lady and Muffin Paws had completely disappeared from the neighborhood. Maybe she moved. Maybe she just couldn't stand the haunted sprinkler house. Either way, justice had been served. For weeks I replayed those camera clips whenever I needed a laugh. The look on her face. The shriek of rage. The tumble into her own dog's mess. It wasn't just about poop. It was about standing up to someone who thought they were untouchable. Someone who thought the rules didn't apply to them. And the payoff, watching karma hit her with 15 gallons of ice-cold justice, was pure bliss. You know, I think about my old dog sometimes when I see that spot. He would have loved watching the chaos unfold. And maybe that's the real lesson here. Disrespect has a way of catching up with you. Sometimes in ways you least expect. If this story gave you chills, or at least made you laugh, smash that like button and tell me in the comments. What's the most satisfying revenge you've ever witnessed? And of course, don't forget to subscribe for more stories where karma comes to collect. Until next time, stay kind, and pick up after your dog.